Gearheads, thanks for tuning in. On this episode of Dan's Garage, Dan's cleaning out another Chevelle. Let's see what he gets into this week. Hey Dan, run that intro!
Hey Gearheads, thanks for tuning in. Happy Halloween. Today actually is Halloween and I'm shooting this so you guys have something to watch this week. We're going to clean out the interior. Well, finish cleaning out the interior. So the last episode, well 2 episodes ago, we cleaned out most of the stuff from the interior. Now I want to take all the seats out. We're going to pull the carpet out, clean up the floor so we can see what is actually left of the floor. Now this SS actually has no trunk in it, so we don't have to worry about that. And it does have an engine. There's some stuff in there we got to move around too, so we'll get to that after we get in here. Well, these seats should be pretty easy to get out. They're not really bolted in anymore, or the floor is just so shot where they were. There's still bolts in them, but they're not attached. So let's just pull them out and see what happens. Huh. There's still a bolt in it. So this does have another cool feature as we're getting to the bolts on the seat. It's got retractable seat belts, which was an option back then. And it actually still retracts, and the label is on it and looks really nice. So pretty cool. So we'll try to take this off in one piece and keep it protected. There we go. Got that off. So that just has these 2 little clips inside that go down and go into these notches here. So that's what holds that on. Looks like that's all good. Of course you gotta detract the retract to get that off. We'll put that over there. This bolt is pretty rusted, so we'll see if we can get it off. It's just got the 1 bolt on here. Need a big size for that, not sure what it is. I'll be back. Alright, so I got a 13/16, and that should fit. These are pretty big bolts, so hopefully it'll come out without breaking. We'll see. Breaker bar. A little spray doesn't hurt either. Now let's see what happens. Alright. It moved a little bit. In order to try to get rid of some of the rust, instead of continually loosening it, what I like to do is tighten it back a little bit and then loosen it a little bit. And if you can get a little movement, like all the other bolts that are rusted, it'll allow you to get it loose a lot easier. Alright, I think I can go back to the ratchet on that one. Let's see. Oh yeah. Back a little bit. See how much easier it turns when you go back and forth. As you get up a little bit, get some more lubricant in there. Alright, looks like we're to the end of that one. And the bolt came out. Now these are pretty big, thick, robust bolts. These usually will come out without rusting. Smaller ones, not so much. They usually break. But we did get this off, so that can be cleaned up and reused whenever somebody buys this car and restores it. Now let's move a little bit of this carpet out of the way, clean this up so we can see the bolt for the seat is right here. It's a smaller one, so it may or may not come off without breaking. We'll probably just snap it. You can't even get a socket on there, so let's get a wrench. This may be too rusted to even get in here. I may just have to cut the bracket. Alright, here's a close-up view. This thing is so rusted and coated that it doesn't even have a head on it anymore. So I'm just going to have to grind off the bracket so we can get this out. that didn't take much. Try compressing this thing back up. One piece of trim. Now I may be getting ahead of myself here, but I have heard that sometimes they put build sheets behind these panels on the front seats, so we're going to see if we can get lucky. Alright, now this panel should come off. It does slide up because it's got little catches here. Be careful with that. And we're looking here and we see nothing. Just dirt and disgustingness. No build sheet. Alright. We'll go ahead and put it back together so we don't lose anything, and then we'll go ahead and get the other seat out. Alright, back here where the seat was, we had another hinge from a glove box, and just a lot of carpet and mess to clean up, so we'll get all this cleaned out and then see what's left. I need to get the garbage can. Now this is a cool option these cars have as well. If you had a center console, you would have holders for the buckles for the seat belts. So that way, when you weren't driving, you could put them in here. Now it wasn't for car shows because back then these weren't show cars, they were just cars. And you might wonder, why is there two buckles? Well, this car actually also has the optional shoulder seat belt, which is really cool. Alright, so we'll see if we can just get this carpet out in one piece. Without breathing. I think it's time for the vacuum and see what we got. Back seat out. So the rear seat is shot. You can see this is where all the springs used to mount, and they're all broken off, so this frame is probably pretty useless. When it's in the car, at least it'll make it look more complete, so we will put it back in. You decide what you want to do with it. No belt sheet in here either. You know, the sill plates, and the package tray, which is shot. It is incredible to me how everything deteriorates in these cars except the underlayment. What the heck was this stuff made out of? If you know, put it in the comments. I'd like to know. It's pretty cool. Let's go to the other side. So this side is pretty much the same. I don't think this seat's bolted in either. Maybe just that one bolt. We'll pull the seat belt out, pull the seat out. I'll clean all this up and then we'll take a good look at the floor. Alright, so the inside's cleaned out, all vacuumed out. Let's take a look. But first, here's a test for you young guys. See if you can tell me what this is. I know your older guys know what it is. I'll give you a hint. It's metal. If you know what it is, put it down in the comments. Let's take a look at that floor. It's pretty much what I thought it would be. So this is the driver's side footwell. It looks pretty solid under the pedals. You can see the transmission under the front of the console there. So that whole console section is pretty much gone. Looks really where that front seam is for the front floor. The toe board, again, looks alright. You can see the cross members here. The center of the floor is pretty much shot. Cross members may or may not be salvageable. Haven't seen any frame damage up here or heavy duty frame rust, so frame maybe okay, but it's got that damage in the back we talked about. So this car could need a frame. Keep that in mind if you're considering purchasing it. The floor in the back, of course, is shot. We know the trunk floor is gone. Let's take a look at the other side. And here we are on the passenger side. Again, the footwell looks pretty good, leading up to the firewall up there, and pretty much from the seam back is shot, including the tranny tunnel. So this cross member is definitely shot, as you can see. And then back here, the back footwell actually looks comparatively better than the other side. Of course, you're still going to have to replace it. And then the back is the same thing on this side that we saw from the other side. There's nothing back here. So I'm going to assume this seat is unusable as well. We'll take a look up here at the headliner. And obviously you're going to know that the headliner needs to be replaced on a car like this. Again, these cars have been sitting around for 30 years, so consider a full restoration, and one of everything is going to be needed. Under here, the dashboard seems to be in pretty good shape. Plastic doesn't rust like metal. Hey, I just noticed that is in the A-pillar. There's a little hole right there. The rest of it looks to be in good shape. Rocker's got a little rust at the front there. And then actually looks pretty good around here. We'll do the outside of the car on an upcoming video. I know I did one walking around it, but we'll do a little bit more checking it out. But I'm going to put the seats back in, and we'll move on to the engine. So unfortunately I didn't get to the engine compartment, but that means this video is done, and you got something to look forward to next time. Stay positive and keep on wrenching.